Myself, Dr. K. Sivaya. So, our last chapter, that is enzymes, that one of topic is enzymes regulation. So, here I shared one PPT, what I've written part. See, enzyme regulations of enzymes mainly depending upon the either genetical level or enzyme activity modifications. So, regulation of enzyme activity is mainly we can divide two. So, the existed enzyme change the activity of existed enzyme through modifications. Through some modifications existed already present the enzyme, that enzyme some modification takes place so that the enzyme activity either it will stimulated or inhibited. Another way is by increasing the or decreasing the concentration, enzyme concentration through the genetical level. Means when the DNA expression takes place, either DNA synthesis or DNA synthesis inhibited. So these through we can understand the regulation of enzyme activity. So if you observe through the existed enzymes through modifications, so that one first allosteric regulation, covalent bond modifications, proteolysis, cascade regulation, protein-protein binding, and compartmental regulations. See step by step, one by one. Allosteric regulation. Allo means another. Allo means another. Steric, actually STEARIC. Allosteric regulation. Allo means another, steric means site. Another site for the another site of enzyme other than the active site. Other than the active site, we can call it as a allosteric site. So that is allosteric site. So how these allosteric to modify the enzyme activity. So this is one modulator, either that is a positive modulator or negative modulator. If you observe, if you taken the positive modulator, if it is binded, the substrate easily bind with the enzyme active site and produces the action. So these modulator, what is the mechanism action here? The modulator conformational changes takes place. Conformational changes happen in this enzyme. This is entire enzyme. So this is enzyme. This enzyme conformation changes takes place as per the substrate when the positive modulator. Suppose if you take a negative modulator that inhibit the substrate enzyme complex. So that inhibit the enzyme substrate complex because of there is no conformational changes when the negative modulator binded to the allosteric state, allosteric site, when it is binded, it conformation changes not happen respective to the substrate. So that there is no complex between the enzyme and substrate, there is no further reaction. So these are the examples I given here. Before going to that, you know that Michaelis constant, that is Km value. So when the Km value decreases enzyme substrate more bonded. means more active and more enzyme substrate complex it is formed perfectly. So in positive modulators decreases the Km value, negative modulators increases the Km value. If you observe, if you take in the graph, enzyme substrate concentration and the enzyme velocity, that enzyme activity velocity, if you take in the Km value, if it is lower, the affinity between the enzyme and substrate is more. Already we studied in the Michaelis Menten constant kinetic enzyme kinetics, we studied there. So the Km value, which is come to the substrate, substrate, then it will the affinity more. So that's why positive modulator decreases the Km value, negative modulator increases the Km value. So one more classification also is the Km class enzymes. So these enzymes modify the Km value, not Vmax value. So they always modify the Km value, not Vmax value. Vmax enzymes is there. These enzymes always modify the Vmax, not Km value. So that is it. Come to the examples regarding positive modulators and negative modulators. So acetyl coenzyme A carboxyl, this is one enzyme. The citrate is a positive modulator. Negative is a negative modulator. Palmitoyl coenzyme B is a negative modulator. Same as like that aspartate trans carboxymylase. So ATP is a positive modulator and cytidine triphosphate. CTP simply we can call here cytidine DINE. This is DINE triphosphate. Cytidine triphosphate. And a phosphofructokinase you here. So the AMP is positive modulator and negative modulator is here for the phosphofructokinase citrate. Next, covalent modifications. So the bond, the enzyme bond with the some either phosphate or methyl or hydroxyl. These are also play the important role in the enzyme activity. So regulation, if it is binded, what happened? If it is not binded, what happened? Mainly phosphorylation and dephosphorylation. When you compare the methylation, hydroxylation as is there, but the phosphorylation is the may play the important role in the enzyme activity. That bond is covalent bond. That bond covalent modifications supposed to phosphorylation addition of phosphate to the enzyme. Dephosphorylation removal of phosphate from the enzyme. And some methyl also is there and hydroxylation is there. So for example, here the enzyme serine have the enzyme, this is the end of the amino acid. In enzyme is made up of protein. That protein have the one amino acid serine. In that serine hydroxyl group, when it is a phosphorylation, ATP is converted to ADP. So enzyme serine OP plus ADP, it will come here ADP. So it is so for example, it's glycogen phosphorylase. See these we can observe the glycogenolysis. Glycogenolysis means breakdown of glycogen into glucose molecules. So if it is there phosphorylated, this enzyme, if it is phosphorylated, enhance the glycogenolysis. It produces the glycogenolysis. Some dephosphorylation, glycogen synthesis. If it is a dephosphorylation takes place, these glycogen synthesis produces the glycogenesis. Means formation of glycogen. Glycogenesis means formation of glycogen. So these when it is dephosphorylated, here it is dephosphorylated, here phosphorylated. If it is phosphorylated, the enzyme more active. If it is these dephosphorylated, these enzyme more active. That is the covalent modification. So already enzyme is there, but some modifications happen because of that to produce some change in activity. That is the classification. In that allosteric over, next covalent mod. So for see how these, see how it is happening in cellular molecular level. If you observe glucagon, GON, this is GON, glucagon. So these glucagon, it is secreted from pancreas, pancreas alpha cells. It is released into the blood. Then after that, it's bound to the liver cells. That it's bound to the G protein coupled receptor. In liver, cell is there. In that cell, receptor is there. There it is binded. Then it releases the cyclic AMP levels. So when the cyclic AMP levels increased, cyclic AMP means adenosine, when it is released, it activates the protein kinase. When this protein kinase enzyme activated, these kinase enzyme phosphorylate the glycogen phosphorylase enzyme. So when it is glycogen phosphorylase enzyme activated, so the glycogen phosphorylase phosphorylated. What happened? This is, I said already, glycogenolysis. Glycogen is converted into glucose. How these process it is takes place? How? So this is also, we can also consider this one is example in cascade regulation. Also cascade regulation means step by step fall of water. How you can get the fall of water from high bulk of water to how it is coming downside step by step, we can call cascade. So this is the step by step coming. This also we can consider for the example for the cascade regulation also. But I given one more example for the cascade example, we can discuss later. Next, proteolysis. Proteolysis means protein lysis. That's all. So here the protein is enzyme. So some proteins, some enzymes is inactive state. Inactive state. When it is converted into active state, when it is undergoes lysis, it lost. So that is inactive enzymes we can call as zymogens. Important for the 2 marks questions, maybe sometimes they can ask, define zymogens, inactive precursor of enzymes. Inactive precursor of enzyme. Inactive precursor of enzyme. So the inactivated enzyme converted into active enzyme by proteolysis. So proteolysis of protein, that protein is inactive enzyme. This is examples. Pepsinogen is inactive. In the presence of HCl, it is converted into pepsin plus peptide. So now it is active. That's why I'm telling. So these, whatever the remaining peptide to mask this. So now it is active. So pepsin also convert the pepsinogen to pepsin. This is called as autolysis. The pepsin itself to convert the pepsinogen to pepsin. Pepsinogen to pepsin, either HCl or pepsin, to convert the pepsinogen to pepsin. So when the pepsin act on the pepsinogen to form the pepsin, we can call it as autolysis. Trypsinogen is converted to trypsin. So the trypsin, this is autolysis. Next, proelastase. In the present, here it is not autolysis. This is a different enzyme. Trypsin is a different enzyme. Proelastase is a proelastic inactive different enzyme. So these trypsin enzyme act on the inactive proelastase converted into elastase and peptide. So this is the proteolysis. Cascade regulation, I said. the flow of water, how step by step. So here one enzyme to activate the another, that it will activate the another one. You observed in blood coagulation, the clotting factors, especially we can observe these type of cascade regulation, step by step activation. That's why that already I said, but here also one example I given this ones. Calcium or when it is clotted, when the blood rupture, when the blood vessel is ruptured, blood vessel. So the 12th factor is converted into active form, A. 12A means A means activate. This convert the 10, 11 to 11A. 11A act on the 9. 9 is converted to 9A activated. 9A plus 8th one, then 2 act on the 10th clotting factor, and it is converted into 10th A activated, and it combined with the 5th, and these two act on the prothrombin to convert the prothrombin into thrombin. The thrombin act on the fibrinogen to form the fibrin. So this is the step by step how the, if it is activated, it's act as enzyme to act on the another one, that is act as enzyme, then it is act on the another one, then that one is act as enzyme, it act on the another one. So cascade step by step. Protein interaction. So one protein bind with the another inactive enzyme. So why it is called enzyme? Inactive, see, enzymes is nothing but protein. So why it is called protein? Enzyme is protein. One protein bind with the inactive enzyme to form active. How it is? Example I given here, the calcium 2 plus ions calmodulin. This is calmodulin is a protein. Calmodulin is a protein. So these two complexes bind to the protein kinase. So when it is this complex bind to the protein kinase, activation of protein. So here this one protein kinase one protein. So when is protein interacted, the activation happens. So when it is activation of calmodulin dependent, when it is activated, actin and myosins are coupled together to form contraction of muscles. Especially we can observe this in cardiac muscle. So this one, so here the calmodulin one protein kinase, enzyme protein is nothing but made up of protein. When it is interacted, here one function, one activity takes place. So this is the regarding protein interaction. Next, compartmental means here don't think more, it is easy. Already you studied few enzymes present in cytosol, few enzymes that present in mitochondria, or sometimes the enzyme either in present in both cytosol and mitochondria. So the substrate is synthesized and also degraded. There is no point for simultaneous occurs. So in the cytosol, it is synthesized, but it is degraded in mitochondria. Sometimes it is synthesized and degraded in cytosol only. It is not compulsory, but when you tell that it is compartmental, suppose if you observe here, I can tell the example, then you can. The fatty acid synthesized in the cytoplasm. The fatty acid synthesized in the cytosol, but degradation or catabolism in the mitochondria, fatty acid oxidation. You studied the synthesis, it is happening in cytoplasm, mitochondria. So the cytoplasm acting as a one compartment and the mitochondria acting as a one more compartment. So compartment. So when the compartment changes, the enzyme activity change. Here the cytoplasm synthesis takes place. In mitochondria, catabolism takes place. So in cytoplasm anabolism, so in cytoplasm anabolism takes place. In mitochondria, catabolism happens. So this is a compartmental regulation of enzyme activity. See, and also we can observe the nucleus. The nucleus synthesizes the DNA, and where it is degraded in cytosol. The appearance of pyrimidines is catabolic. Here you can write in the catabolism of pyrimidines. So compartmental nucleus is act as one compartment, cytosol act as one compartment, mitochondria act as one compartment. So either it is a synthesis or degraded in nothing but catabolism, in anabolism or catabolism, anything it is happening. That's why I said substance synthesis and also degraded, there is no point for the simultaneous occur. Very few only synthesized in the same place and degraded in the same place. Next, feedback regulation, end product inhibition. See here, the feedback regulation means we can understand by the example. A is one substrate. A is one substrate. Act on the enzyme to produce one product B. B. Second enzyme act on the these and the B product. It's converted into C. Then C, this is now product. The enzyme 3 act on the C to convert D. The enzyme 4 act on the D to convert the E. That E inhibit the E1. The E product, the end product inhibit these E1. So end product inhibition, feedback regulation. So that's why I've written here the process of inhibiting the first step, by the final product. This is FIN here, final product. This is called as feedback regulation. Got it? So the end product to inhibit the first step. Simple matter. So example is this one. Carboamyl phosphate plus aspartate in the presence of aspartate transcarbamylase to convert the carbamyl aspartate. Then after further reaction to form the cytidine triphosphate. But these cytidine triphosphate inhibit the aspartate trans. So the end product CTP inhibit this enzyme. That's why it is a feedback control. Feedback. If it is more only, if it is more formation, then automatically it will reach aspartate transcarbamylase. Already you studied some negative feedback mechanism in human anatomy physiology. That is hormones. Already you studied ACTH. So some thyroid stimulating hormone. So prolactin. Already you studied. So when the hormones levels increase, automatically negative feedback mechanism it is work on. Got it? So same like that. Here talk about the enzymes level. That's why the end product inhibit the first step. Okay, this is the example. Next, second category, regulation of enzymes by increasing or decrease its concentration through genetical. Next, I said already in first A, B. Now we are coming to B. See here, the first one is induction, means synthesis or increase the enzymes levels concentration, increase the enzyme concentration levels. So to increase enzyme concentration, induction of enzyme levels by genetical level only. How? We can see. I take the same, the glucagon only. So glucagon, so how it is increases the cyclic AMP is like this. Through the G protein coupled, when it is a receptor, the glucagon bind to the G protein coupled receptor. Then when the glucagon bind to the G protein coupled receptor, release the adenyl cyclase enzyme. Adenyl cyclase enzyme. These adenyl cyclase enzyme act on the ATP, and to form the cyclic AMP. So the adenyl cyclase enzyme act on the ATP to form the cyclic AMP. So the cyclic AMP levels are increased. When the cyclic AMP levels are increased, so it act on the protein kinase, activated. The cyclic AMP act on the protein kinase, activated. Here, these protein kinase, what's doing? Phosphorylation only of transcription factors. When the phosphorylation of transcription, these transcription factors are phosphorylated, act on the DNA and initiate the transcription, respective signals from the glucagon. Transcription initiated. So transcription initiated, and transcription nothing but the formation of mRNA from DNA. So here the protein, then after that mRNA is converted into protein translation. Here pyruvate carboxylase, that protein is pyruvate carboxylase. These pyruvate carboxylase increases the gluconeogenesis. Glucagon, how the increases the gluconeogenesis means this is the mechanism of action. Pyruvate carboxylase enzyme increases. When the pyruvate carboxylase enzyme increases, gluconeogenesis means formation of glucose from the other than the carbohydrate, we can call it as gluconeogenesis. This is induction. It's an induction, means increases the enzyme levels through the genetical. How? This is the process. Glucagon bind to the G protein coupled receptor, act on, it releases the adenyl cyclase enzyme and increases the cyclic AMP levels. It's act on the protein kinase. These protein kinase phosphorylate the transcription factor. These transcription factors act on the DNA, the DNA to produce mRNA. mRNA produces the protein. That protein is nothing but a pyruvate carboxylase. When the pyruvate carboxylase increases, gluconeogenesis takes place. That's all. Repression. Same, that glucagon, same mechanism. How? Inhibit the gluconeogenesis. The glucagon increases the gluconeogenesis. Okay, always increases the gluconeogenesis. Formation of the glucamine function increases the glucose levels in the body. Same, that glucagon only it's act on some another level, another action, another mechanism of action, suppress this some enzyme, means decreases the some enzyme levels. Repression of means suppression or decreases the enzyme levels through genetically. Repression of enzyme levels through genetically. So so it also same mechanism, same, same. It's bind to the cells, G protein coupled, it's adenyl cyclase enzyme, cyclic AMP, same, but decreases the protein kinase enzyme activity, decreases the phosphorylation of, decreases the phosphorylation transcription factor, respective which one related to pyruvate kinase enzyme. So it decreases the transcription process, formation of mRNA decreases and decreases the pyruvate kinase. So these pyruvate kinase decreases the glucose levels decreases. The glucose levels decreases. So pyruvate carboxylase increases, pyruvate kinase decreases. Same glucose, same hormone, but different activities. This is the example for the repression. Next, degradation means enzyme degradation. Any enzyme after few days it will degrade it in our body. That is half-life, you simply can call. So that enzyme either sometimes it is inhibited to the ubiquitin dependent degradation enzyme or ATP dependent enzyme degradation or non-ATP dependent degradation. Generally, the half-life of enzyme, half-life means they lost the enzyme activity with 50%. So degradation if not needed. See, degradation, if here the what is the meaning means degraded if your body not required, if your body not required that enzyme, immediately degraded. If in our body any enzyme is there, if it is not required, immediately degraded. If it is required, appear if needed. So general our human physiology, nothing but blood has so many enzymes. That enzymes, if the body needed, it will act. It's present. If it is not needed, immediately degraded. It is regarding degradation. So mainly these induction and depression only, enzyme activity. So this is regarding regulation of enzymes. Thank you for watching.